The conversation about annexing the massive planned community Avimor into the city of Eagle continues. If approved, the fast-growing bedroom community of Eagle would get even bigger. A lot bigger. Tonight, for the second time, people who live in Eagle went before the Planning and Zoning Commission to share their thoughts on Avimor joining the city. Our Abby Davis has been following this story closely. She is at tonight's meeting, which appears to still be going on. Abby, so many people wanted to weigh in that P&Z actually scheduled tonight's meeting as sort of like a part two of a meeting held earlier this month.
That's completely right, Morgan. At the last meeting, there was only about 30 minutes of public testimony. That meeting also went right up till 10 p.m. Behind me, the meeting is still going on. A lot of people have left since public testimony is over. Avimor has spent the last hour and a half or so rebuttaling and answering commissioners' questions and addressing any concerns that they heard tonight during that public testimony. Commissioners right now are just leaving their final comments, so I am not quite sure if they will take a vote on whether they approve or don't approve, or recommend rather, sorry. The Planning and Zoning will make a recommendation to City Council about whether or not they think annexing Avimor is a good idea. Now we have some video about what tonight's turnout looked like. Well, like I said, it was a packed house. Planning and Zoning Commissioners spent about 2.5 hours listening to people who live in Eagle. Right now, as you drive north on Highway 55, you'll see about 800 homes as well as mixed-use buildings. When Avimor is fully built out around the year 2060, there will be about 10,000 homes. If annexed, about 9,000 of those Avimor homes and 860,000 square feet of commercial space would be in Eagle. 50% of the land will be protected natural open space. An analysis shows if annexed into Eagle, Avimor would bring upwards of 21,000 new people into the town over the next 30 years. That's a 64% increase in population. Many people worry that growth will strain services, resources, and Eagle taxpayers.
This doesn't bring any benefit to Eagle. It brings higher taxes and more traffic.
Eagle is the entity being wooed by open space, and Avimor is the entity that wants our services, money for their community.
Some of the people who testified tonight were in favor of annexation, although they were the minority. One community member said annexing Avimor gives Eagle more control over what happens to dozens of miles of land in the foothills north of Eagle. Avimor's lawyer agreed.
It seems very beneficial to Eagle, to the residents of Eagle, and to the city of Eagle to have direct influence over what that development will look like.
The city would get a say in how the foothills are developed and protected rather than leaving this up to Boise County, Jim County, Ada County, etc.
Everything, and not to go into
Avimor spent the last half of the meeting answering commissioners' questions and addressing people's concerns, like I already mentioned. And it's still up in the air about whether or not they will make that recommendation to City Council. But the important thing to note here is, regardless of the recommendation, if they think annexing Avimor is a good idea or not, it's actually up to City Council to make that final decision. And once again, that timeline is really just up in the air since the meeting is still going on. 4 hours so far, Morgan.
Wow, so regardless of what Planning and Zoning recommends tonight, Abby, City Council can say, we uphold that recommendation, we sort of deny that recommendation, we're going to do what we want.
Yes, and that was really a point of contention for a lot of people who came and testified in front of the commissioners today. They're really upset that this won't go to a vote for the Eagle residents. They're upset that City Council will have the final say.
Yeah, we've heard from a lot of people that are wondering why this is not going to go to a citywide vote. I know you will continue asking city leaders that question. Abby Davis reporting live for us. Abby, we'll check in with you later. Thanks so much.